Welcome to YourHomeLifeRadio.com. Join us now as we walk around our neighborhood exploring brand new worlds from the comfort of your own home. Now welcome to another fine show here on YourHomeLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to YourHomeLifeRadio.com. This is the GF Joe Radio Show, and I am your host, GF Joe, the only show that is entirely gluten-free. Every Tuesday from 4 to 5 p.m. on YourHomeLifeRadio.com. Hello to my wonderful listeners on the YourHomeLifeRadio.com. This is the GF Joe Radio Show, and I am your host, GF Joe. Alrighty, let me get right to it here. Hold on, wait a sec. We got to do some little technical stuff here. I just saw a great film 5 minutes ago by Nolan Ray. Nolan, what was the name of that movie?
That was called Lonely Ben, and my director of photography is standing right behind me, matter of fact.
Lonely Ben. And where can we see that film?
You cannot see it till Friday, so you haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see the film that
I saw a preview of it.
I saw a preview. Okay, terrific. Hey, welcome to the GF Joe Show. My name is Joseph Camareri. I am your host, GF Joe. All right, let me get right down to it. GF Joe stands for Gluten-Free Joe. I am gluten-free. This show has always been gluten-free, all the time. What is gluten? What the heck? I always start out the show like this, defining gluten and all this. Gluten is a protein that's found in wheat, barley, rye, oat, corn, rice, and it is a protein that I cannot digest, and my body has an allergic reaction to. Also, the celiac people with celiac disease or disorder cannot have gluten products. Their immune system is damaged by the gluten. Their small intestines has the villi and it's all damaged, and it's the only way they can have a great diet is to stay away from gluten products, and you have to be gluten-free. There is no known cure as of right now for celiac or an allergy sensitivity. So that's it. This whole show, gluten-free. What's in it for me? I'm going gluten-free. Hold on, I got some announcements here. Oh, by the way, if you're listening and you have some issues, feel free to call in, talk to GF Joe, become a GF Joe listener, 727-597-4022. All right. Oh, now I have to do my disclaimer before anything else. The content of this GF Joe Radio Show and Entertainment Global Media, owned and operated by Your Home Life Radio, is intended for general information purposes only. It is not designed to provide listeners with specific and personal medical, financial, legal, counsel, professional service of any advice. The programs are not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease. Individuals with health problems should always consult their health care provider for professional medical advice, medications, or treatments. The views and opinions expressed by the show host, that's me, GF Joe, and their guests, producers, writers, or editors are their own and shall not be construed in any way as advice from the GF Joe Radio Show. We encourage you to seek professional advice and care for any problem you may have. Whoopee! That's my disclaimer. There it is. I am officially disclaimed. Let me go back to next week. We're going to have Karen Krimsky. Oh, man, she's going to yell at me. Karen Krimsky on. She's a professional motivator, leader. She has her own Power Up Women networking group, and she'll be on the radio next week. So we welcome Karen. That'd be terrific. I am so excited to have her. We also are looking forward to having a gold medal winner of the recent Olympics. I'm not going to say her name yet. I don't want to jinx it, but that's in the works. So next few weeks down the road, I'll be interviewing a gold medal winner from the recent London Olympics. Hint, that person is a woman. That's all I'm going to say. All righty. By the way, this is yourhomeliferadio.com. That's where you are listening. You can find that on your iPad, iPhone, internet, whatever. Yourhomeliferadio.com and listen to the GF Joe Radio Show. It's all about being gluten-free, successful diet choices, being successful with those choices, and making healthy decisions in your life. And if you want to be gluten-free by choice, you can call me anytime, 727-597-4022. From now until 5:30, I'll be here. And that is my life. 2-minute break. Sure, why not? I love when this little voice in my head comes on my headphones and I yell out stuff and you guys hear it, but you don't hear the other stuff that's going inside my head. Anyway, that's terrific. That's funny too. I'm excited that this year for this Entertainment Global Media, they're having a big annual celebration, and that is on September 9th at the Zone in Tarpon Springs. That's where you can meet all the radio show producers, directors, writers, yada, 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 the show host. That's September 9th at the Zone in Tarpon Springs. By the way, I am in Pinellas County, Florida, for those who are listening worldwide. My 6 billion listeners, I'm in the United States. In Florida, I'm in Clearwater. Welcome to the show. I am your host, GF Joe, and we will be going to a break, and we'll be talking about gluten-free products. Maybe I'll have a recipe for you about making some bread or pizza. That'll be later on. And let me see here. What else do we have on this show today? I did this disclaimer. Oh, man. Gluten-free. You know, when I found out about that, I was devastated. You know, I keep saying I'm Italian. My whole life has been gluten products. Pasta, pizza, cakes, sfogliatelle, cannolis. Anyway, thank you for listening on yourhomeliferadio.com. This is the GF Joe Radio Show. Be back in 2 minutes.
Buried deep underneath all the callous skin and sharp teeth, was a beautiful truth, shimmering on a vulnerability attached to it. I had to dig in bed, but you spilled it, and I realized just how heavy this liquid is, how you've been keeping it from leaking in the wrong way. You feel a part of you is drowning from the weight, but you can't let go just yet. as it soars up your throat to your lips till you close the door. She throws herself against the wall to break free and come into the light. Come into the light. Shoulder deep in your rhapsody, waiting for the higher tide to come over you, totally consume the uneasiness you hide. If they only knew, if they could only see the understanding through your eyes, then the chains that hold your ankles down will let you swim into the sky. Like a Montague and a Capulet, there's a huge misunderstanding. They haven't heard both sides of the story yet, but they told you where they're standing. When you dream, do you see God? Do you talk to him and ask him where to go? Does it hurt to love so much, knowing she is yet to feel his love, yet to feel his love?
Welcome back to the GF Joe Radio Show. That was Simply Abigail. And she will be at the party September 9th at the Zone in Tarpon Springs. That's $10 from 6 to 9:30. And then I think if you get tickets early, it's $5, something like that. But September 9th at the Zone in Tarpon Springs. That was Simply Abigail. Right now it's 4:43, and I am live on the radio, GF Joe, on yourhomeliferadio.com. I'm going to try to do my first recipe. I'm going to take it from this book. I will try this on Thursday night. This book is called Gluten Free, Quick and Easy by Dr. Carol Fenster, or Carol Fenster, PhD. It's a peanut butter cookie recipe. She has her own little, they call it Carol mix. She has her own little mix. It's a blend of flours. And right now, I'll just give you the recipe, and then whatever you could replace with the flour mix. I would say you could use Bob's Red Mill all-purpose flour, but here it is. It's a 1/4 cup of unsalted butter or buttery spread at room temperature. I use like a lot of Smart Balance, secret, or non-dairy. 1 large egg, 1/2 cup of crunchy natural peanut butter. When GF Joe uses this stuff, he uses organic, baby. How's that? Organic peanut butter. No pesticides. I don't want things grown on the side of my head in the middle of the night. 1 large egg. For me, GF Joe uses egg replacement. egg replacement could be, you have a couple of choices: applesauce, cornstarch, or flaxseed meal. Now, for every egg you use 1 tablespoon of flaxseed meal and 3 tablespoons of water. You let it sit for 2 minutes, and that is your egg replacement. Cornstarch, the same thing. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 3 tablespoons of water, but you don't have to let that sit. That's used immediately. You mix that up. All right, so the next thing after we have the 1/4 cup of unsalted butter, 1/2 cup of crunchy natural peanut butter, 1 large egg or the replacement, we have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I love saying this word because it leads me to go right into Jerry Lewis voice. Lady, can we have some vanilla extract? Thank you very much. Madagascar has some great organic vanilla extract. So I use 1 teaspoon of that. And then here comes that 2 cups of Carol's cookie mix. Instead of the Carol's cookie mix, you could use your own blend, all-purpose flour by Bob's Red Mill. And then you want to add the xanthium gum, about 2 teaspoons of that, 2 tablespoons of salt, wow, they're asking for 3 cups of cane sugar. Woohoo, that's going to be a great cookie right there. That's for the flour mix. But that's like a whole 8-cup thing. But anyway, they want 2 cups of this. So you mix your Bob's Red Mill, you get about 8 cups of that, 2 teaspoons of xanthium gum, 2 teaspoons of table salt, 3 cups of sugar. So that's going to give you a big batch. Now, out of that batch that I just said, you want to take 2 cups of that. So now we have that first part of that recipe is 1/4 cup of the butter, 1/2 cup of peanut butter, the egg, the extract. Now 2 cups of that mix I just told you about, and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 tablespoon of cane sugar for rolling on the cookies. Now, you put this all together. Make sure you preheat that oven to 350. Grease your pans. Make your little round ball. Most cookies are about 2 ounces. I scale mine at 2.2. Yes, 0.2. A little heavier. Now it also says place the peanut butter and egg, vanilla in the food processor. I don't use a food processor. I'm the old-fashioned. I like to mix it in my hand. Food processors are just stronger. I'm kind of muscly, Look at those muscles. And you mix all those, and then when they're all together, then you throw it in the oven. I'd say about 20 minutes. And that's the peanut butter cookie recipe from Gluten Free Quick and Easy by Carol Fenster. Next week, I'll have my own, maybe a pizza or a cupcake recipe. I don't know. Gluten free. Welcome to Your Home Life Radio. This is GF Joe. I'm your host. Hey, gluten, what is it? It's a protein found in wheat. Now, there's a couple of types. I think I said this last week. There's 4 types of main proteins within the gluten family there. There's albumins, glutellins, and globulins, and prolamins. Now, glutellins and prolamins are definitely found in higher concentrations in wheat, while albumin and globulins are more plentiful in corn and rice. So I got this from the Geekpedia, something Wicked Geekpedia, and I believe they're a good, credible source of information. Also, you can go to the Celiac Sprue Association or something like that. And that's why recently I stay away from corn now. I stay away from corn. I've been staying away from rice since last year. So now my diet's even more restricted. Basically, my diet is down to gluten-free products, cupcakes, gluten-free cookies, gluten-free pasta, pizza. Now, last week, was it yesterday? Last week. Hold on. Let me get my calendar out. Don't go anywhere. If you want to call in, it's 727-597-4022, 727-597-4022. Sunday, that's right. This 2 days ago, I had my sister make me a gluten-free pizza, and I just ate it. Some of it in the car on the way over here. While I was eating pizza, the car was driving itself, enjoying my gluten-free pizza. We're going to improve upon that recipe. We're going to add some xanthium gum next time. Xanthium gum acts like a little gum and keeps things together. We don't want our pizza falling apart on us while we're eating it. So the gum is kind of like the replacement of the gluten. Gluten is the product, the protein that keeps the dough of not normal pizza, sticky and chewy and keeps everything together. So when there's no gluten in pizza or pasta, everything just falls apart. So they use a gum replacement, and that is xanthium gum. Oh, and so we'll work on that one next week. But I thoroughly enjoyed what I ate in the car while people were honking at me, and I'm going, GF Joe rules! I got GF Joe pizza in the car! Next week, what did I say? Karen's going to come on? Yeah, Karen is going to come on, and we're going to talk about her successful life there. I love bringing these people on. I didn't bring my chocolate chip cookie or my cupcake. Next week I will do that. You know, sometimes us DJs and VJs and radio show hosts have to have a real job while we're doing the radio show. So I was doing some work for a friend of mine, not thinking about my show. So now I'm all confused. But I'm always looking. This GF Joe radio show is looking for some sponsors. That means I could I could get some sponsors, and I could mention their name or their product or service on the radio, and I could have them come in and talk, and they pay a fee for that, and that goes for the promotion of this show, the GF Joe radio show. You can advertise or sponsor or do both. Entertainment Global Media is the vendor for my radio show, and he, Entertainment Global Media, loves to have some sponsors and advertisers to grow my show. Anyway, so if you're a sponsor, a small business out there, and you need to get some mentions on the air or come in and talk about your company, I am more than happy to assist you in that area. You can email me through josephc@gfjoe.com or give me a call here at 727-597-4022, and we'll have the engineer take your information and we'll call you back. And welcome to yourhomeliferadio.com. I am your host, GF Joe. Last week, coming up this Saturday for me personally, you know, some of you listeners out there, darn it, I lost my cell phone. I left it in the truck. I hate when that happens. I play ice hockey. I love ice hockey. And I just heard that the ice hockey people, NHL, and the players might not have a season. And I'm thoroughly be pissed. I'm going to have to go run up there and, you know, start swinging. Start swinging my gluten-free bat. But anyway, last week I played in a little pickup league, and I had to sit next to the worst goalie. Everybody hates this guy, but I'm not going to say his name. But I sat next to him, and I just kept my mouth shut. He's a very bad sportsman-like man. But he's a pretty good goalie. I got to give him that. But he's for a pickup league and a beer league, you don't have to be unsportsmanlike conduct. You don't need to go there and start calling people names and all that stuff on the ice. Anyway, I love ice hockey. I thoroughly enjoy it very much. Gluten-free Joe loves ice hockey. Even the back of my jersey says GF Joe on it. All three of them. I have a black jersey, a green one, and a white one. So if you want to call in, I always say the number, 727-597-4022. I might have a caller. I believe there's at least one listener out there. GF Joe. All right. So I'm writing a book about my life in the GF Joe world. I believe it should be done in about 7 months. I'm only attacking it about 3 times a week. I go to this one famous coffee shop over here in Clearwater, and I sit there and I type as much as possible, and sometimes I do that at the house. But believe it or not, even though I'm outside, I still get focused. It's kind of a weird thing. Even though I'm outside and there's a lot of distractions at the thing, I am focused on writing the book about my life being gluten-free. The title of the book is called GF Joe, How I Lost My Italianity. I love to make myself laugh. When you're Italian and you become gluten-free or find out that you cannot have wheat products, that is the worst thing. It's like a big tease, you know. You want pizza, you want pasta, and you can't have it. You just can't go out there and can't go to Carrabba's. You can't go to these Italian foods places and get all that great Italian stuff. So my whole book, it's going to be about 200 pages, will be about how I dealt with that. And I'll be, by the way, I'll be speaking a part about the book this Saturday at the Gluten Free Support Group in Florida. It's at the Senior Palms in Largo. It's at 10 a.m. I think I go on about 11 a.m. I'm going to have my products there, my GF Joe Bakery brand products, the cupcakes, the cookies, and if I make biscotti in time, I'll have some biscotti cookies out there. If you guys really know what a biscotti is, I believe I have a great tasting biscotti cookie thanks to the research and development department of the GF Joe Brands Corporation. The baker, I don't know if I should mention his name, but he developed a great biscotti for me. Yeah. Anyway, Charles Camerari helped me develop a great biscotti. But getting back to my book, that should be done in about 7 months. I'm really excited. It's my first book writing, biography. I've written business plans before. I've written part of a screenplay before, so this is something really different. So I'm learning how to write the book, first of all, and also learning to put it in the proper order and give it a nice feel for it and emotional attractiveness. But GF Joe, How I Lost My Italianity. I got to write that down on my Facebook. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I got a Facebook thing called GF Joe Brands LLC. If you go to facebook.com / whatever, GF Joe Brands LLC. Anyway. Oh, I told you about the cupcake incident, right? The two hot chicks fighting over my cupcakes. I think that just came out bad. 2 girls fighting over my cupcakes. And I was at my hockey game like 2 weeks ago, and I was giving out all my cupcakes to all the teams and their friends, whatever. I had about 40 cupcakes, and it was the championship game. We won the championship that night. And I guess 2 girls at the bar and their son or whatever it was hanging out, and they saw me dressed up in my GF Joe outfit like you see me here right now, which I normally don't do. I only brought the cupcakes, so I figured I'd dress up and make the whole GF Joe looking that night. So I was wearing my outfit. They saw the outfit. They saw GF Joe, gluten-free. They wanted a cupcake, so I brought the cupcake over to them. As soon as I turned my back, there was 2 girls fighting. And then I had to go and break up the fight. The 2 girls that were fighting were right next to the table I dropped off the cupcakes at. So from now on, my logo is GF Joe Cupcakes. They're so good, even 2 hot chicks will fight over them. It was great. It was a fun night. So I gave you a recipe about peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. And that was from Carol Fenster's book here on being gluten-free. She has a PhD in something here. What was her PhD? She is cookbook she wrote. She lives in Colorado. Special diet cookbooks. And she can be contacted through glutenfreequickandeasy.com. Carol Fenster. I'm going to get her on the show. Yes, absolutely. I'd love to have Carol Fenster on the show. She'll give her recipe of the day. And also next week, I will have a young author. He's about 18. He's about 13 years old. He emailed me the other night saying, I wrote a book. I'm 13 and it's a cookbook. I'm like, okay, we'll get you on the show. So we're going to have, hopefully, if his parents allow us, Dominic Cura on the show to give his little recipe. I know he has camp every Tuesday, so we're going to try to work a deal out where we can call him from camp or something. I don't know. Figure that out. You are listening to the GF Joe Radio Show on yourhomeliferadio.com. I am your host, GF Joe. We'll be taking a break pretty soon. And I want to mention that Zone Party for the Global Entertainment Media on September 9th at 6:30. It's $10. Come on out there, support your radio show programs on yourhomeliferadio.com and on the other shows too. Too many to list here with Entertainment Global Media. I am your host, gfjoe.com. Sorry, GF Joe host on Your Home Life 3.
Let's just fall out of what there is, fall underneath the ground around. Shake the roots of all the trees till they come tumbling down. Let's both pretend we don't exist, ignore each other blatantly, act like nothing ever was, just a fading memory of when things ain't more rainy, yeah, of when things ain't more pain. Something that set our lives and threw us off balance. See that everything is just fine. Start living in the cadence of recovery, yeah, recovery. That cut that's underneath your skin, the ashes from burned violins. I said, I'm sorry. Voice, it's weak and small, but full of truth. I said, I'm sorry. The truth can stab into a heart, but lies can make it skip a beat. Hide underneath these willow trees, and baby, I'm not scared of me. So take your turn and I'll stand still, cause maybe this will take a while. Crack the shell, I'm covered in, expose my mind to everything. everything. Don't fight for me up, you can stay. Yeah, yeah,
Welcome back to YourHomeLifeRadio.com. I am GF Joe, and this is the GF Joe Radio Show, all gluten-free all the time. I am so happy to have Simply Abigail playing some music on my radio show. I haven't met her yet, but I will September 9th at the Zone from 6 to 9:30, and that we're having the 1-year anniversary of this show's producers, I guess you want to say. It's an Entertainment Global Media. It's a gigantic conglomerate. They have like 40 shows under them. Anyway, gluten-free is for me. It's not by choice. It's because I have to. I'm allergic to gluten products. By the way, some of those people were asking on my Facebook page, and what are the symptoms? Now, gluten is the most underdiagnosed disorder in America. I say America because that's where all my stats come from. All my research is based in America. Usually it's 1 in every 133 persons in America. And now if you take a world thing, they might stretch it to whatever the stat is, but in America, it's the most underdiagnosed disorder. I could be wrong, but I'll double check my research. Most underdiagnosed disorder. Doctors don't know how to figure it out. What is this? And the people come in with these symptoms, and some of the symptoms are, now for me, I'll do mine first, is that I had a rash. I was unfocused in my thinking. I couldn't get up in the morning. For instance, some people would hit the snooze alarm about 3 or 4 times. I'm hitting it, like 20 times. It's very difficult for me to get up out of bed. Gluten is toxic to my body. So I was becoming late to work, and I was apologizing to my boss. I'm so sorry, I'm late. And I went to a few doctors, not a lot. They couldn't figure what it was. I went to an infectious disease specialist. I was living in LA at the time. And yeah. So I had symptoms with, headaches, fevers, being unclear in my thinking, being lethargic is one key word. I was like out of it all the time. I believe I have a caller. This is GF Joe. Welcome to the show, caller.
Joseph.
Hello. How are you today, Anna Marie? Anise.
Listen, I'm not calling from home. I'm out and about in the mall in the pouring rain. I just want to say hi to all and hope everybody's doing well. Dinner tonight is roasted chicken with rice and a salad, another gluten-free meal.
Really? Where are you calling from? Are you sounds like you're in the toilet.
No, I'm in a dressing room in a department store, and I just realized the time. Is it coming across very echoey? I apologize.
Yes, it's echoey. Now, if you can flush the toilet, that'd be great. I'd love to hear that now.
No, I'm not. It's a dressing room.
I know. I was just kidding. It was a joke. So, what was dinner for tonight? What was supper for tonight?
Okay, we had roasted chicken,
rice,
and a salad.
Now, I know you were just listening. Now, rice does have some gluten in it, but not as much as the wheat. But rice does have some gluten in it. Just to let you know that.
Okay.
But wild rice, there's like 3 or 4 different kinds of wild rice. I think it was last year I was researching this, and that wild rice is the only one that does not have gluten in it. So if you have wild rice, that'd be better. What else you having? Bread?
No. Let me go because my phone is dying, and like I said, I'm out and about.
All righty. Have fun. Be safe. Thanks for calling in.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
See ya.
Bye.
That was her dinner for tonight. She's having rice. Now, there's a little question mark by rice. But rice does have gluten, not as a lot as the wheat products: oat, wheat, white flour, whole wheat flour, barley, rye. Anyway, but it seemed like a pretty good dinner for tonight. Not totally, 99.9% gluten free. Anyway, the what I was talking about before was the symptoms. Now you got stomach cramps, difficulty breathing, digestive problems. I didn't have a lot of digestive problems. I had more. It's gonna sound funny. It was all up on my head. I had headaches. I couldn't think clearly, and I was tired, lethargic, and I was very low on energy. Now, when I was being looked at and trying to figure out what was going on, I went to a specialist infectious disease doctor in California when I was studying filmmaking out there. And this guy was on the news. I'm like, I'm going to that guy. He's the best. He's like the infectious disease to the stars. Right there in Beverly Connection Plaza, somewhere in LA, near 3rd Street. So I went to him. He didn't have an answer. So after like two doctors, I kind of like gave up because at the time, young filmmakers, they have that Italian disease, Mafunzolo. Say it slow, and then call me later. Anyway, I had the Mafunzolo Italian disease. Hey, Mafunzolo! So I didn't go to any more doctors. I didn't have good health coverage at the time. Or did I? At the time, no, I didn't. I don't think I don't remember. But I didn't go to any more. I gave up after 2 or 3. But friends of mine who were all into being healthy and organic and natural food, and I was at the time. I went to all these health food stores, and I always did that since I was young, trying to get the best food for my body. They gave me a book about food allergies. I started reading it, and there were my symptoms listed under gluten intolerance. I'm like, what the heck is that? And the book told me, slowly get rid of these products in your diet and see what happens. So I tried that. I tried narrowing down my choices, and it took a few weeks. I narrowed it down to wheat and sugar. Wheat lost out, but now I could still have sweets, which I didn't have a lot of in the beginning anyway. My whole diet was wheat. So when I took the wheat out, it took about 3 or 4 days to start noticing, because it's still in your body. Wherever the toxins they're still in your liver, and it's still taking a long time to get rid of. So it takes a while to get out of the system. So by 7 days, I felt 10 times better. I didn't look like I was tired. My dark circles weren't as dark under my eyes there. I felt much better. I was going to work on time, and I said, that's it. I have a wheat allergy, wheat. And then about 4 or 5 years later, I moved back to Florida, and I had an official test. And that test confirmed that I wasn't celiac, but I was also allergic to wheat, gluten, casein, nuts. No, sorry, not nuts. Rice. And so that was my experience with that. And I now I can't have Italian foods anymore. So, but there was some products at that time that were gluten free, and I just ate it. Whatever was gluten free, I took it, even though it tasted like cardboard. I ate it. I need to stay alive, so I ate it. I know I can have the basics: is meat, fish, fruits, and vegetables. So I wasn't out of the picture yet. Nobody was trying to kill me yet. So I did have my fruits, and I love watermelon and the French fries and stuff like that. But I didn't eat mainly healthy. I was pretty athletic at the time. So I had decided, all right, so if I'm going to go gluten-free, let's deal with this. Even though I pass every Italian restaurant in Burbank and Studio City in Los Angeles, but I did eat a lot of tacos. At the time, I didn't know about the corn, so I ate a lot of corn products. I was eating corn chips, and I felt a lot better eating the tacos, the burritos, all authentic stuff. And I just have burgers with no bun. People are like, what? Yeah, burgers with no bun. Now there's a restaurant in California. It's called In-N-Out, and they have what they call a carbless burger, or they call it a wrap. They wrap a nice looking piece of lettuce around the two burgers. So when you eat the burger, you eat the lettuce on the outside, and they wrap it up. So that I had a lettuce wrap burger, no bun. So that's why I stayed thin all these years, I guess. I don't know. I'm your host. This is GF Joe Radio Show on yourhomeliferadio.com. I love this show. Next week we'll have a guest on, a great, powerful, successful woman, Karen Krimsky. She'll be on around 5 o'clock, and we're going to talk to her and interview her. Maybe in a few weeks we'll have the Olympic gold medalist on. Cannot say the lady's name, but she is a celiac person, and we're working with that. We're going to be talking with a youngster author next week. Hopefully Dominic will be able to call from his camp and talk about his cookbook. I'm your host, GF Joe Radio Show. I appreciate you guys listening on yourhomeliferadio.com. It is 727-597-4022. Hey, Nolan, can we take a break?
We can always take a break.
Nolan directed...
Never take a break from eating gluten-free.
Yeah, gluten-free all the time, baby.
One more. I think we got it in us. One. You know what? Let's play a Derek Reese tune. Let's change
Derek Reese tune.
Derek Reese. And
terrific.
We'll be right back. This is Come On Over.
Ho, ho. Won't you go and tell me yes? Hey, 'cause it's been so long. I have a few things I like to say. Oh, I was a fool for such a long time. Been around the way of change with shine. Won't you come over and rest your head down? Won't you come over It's as if it were a dream. Purity, yeah. I overwhelmed with every second in disbelief. And you only have one true love. Oh, but I managed to act like a fool for such a long time. Hey, been around the way of change with shine. Won't you come over and rest your head down? Yeah. Oh, won't you come over? Try and lay your guard down. Oh, won't you come over and rest your head down? Yeah. Won't you come over? Let's fool around. Hey, you seem to think that our foundation ain't what it used to be. Hey, it can be better if we throw in both feet. Hey, as sweet as can be, we are connected, never incomplete. It's me and you, babe. Let me drive, you just take a seat. Won't you come over? And I managed to act like a fool for such a long time. Hey, oh, been around the way of change with shine. Won't you come over? Rest your head down. Won't you come over? Try and lay your guard down. Oh, baby, won't you come over? Come over, over. Hey, won't you come over? Won't you come over?
Welcome back to YourHomeLifeRadio.com. This is the GF Joe Radio Show. I am your host, GF Joe. Thank you, my engineer, Nolan, the
You're welcome.
ex-Air Force man. Yes, he was a ex-Air Force man. Hey, since I'm gluten-free, and you're thinking, okay, if this guy cannot have gluten products, he cannot have wheat, what the heck can he have? Well, here's some of the flours I've been reading about, and I know this by heart, but I'll just go through. The book gave me some ideas. So you have amaranth flour, which is cultivated as a sacred food by the Aztecs. Amaranth. You have arrowroot, is a neutral-based flavored starch. There you go. It's a plant grown in the West Indies. Oh, and of course, I think I mentioned flaxseed meal, and flaxseed. You can have that. You can have. They mention, there's a little asterisk or a little question mark behind corn flour, but a lot of people have been using that, and rice flour is a gluten-free product. I've been personally staying away from it. So yeah, sometimes I could have gluten. I might do a corn chip or something. Also, you have, believe it or not, when I say this word, even though it has the word wheat in it, it is gluten-free. It's buckwheat flour. Remember buckwheat from the Little Rascals? He has a flour now. Buckwheat flour is gluten-free. Even though it has the word wheat in it, it's gluten-free. You have bean flour and millet flour, mesquite flour, garbanzo bean or chickpea flour. Now there is a question mark behind the word oat flour too. It depends upon the person, but oat flour, you may not or may have that oat flour. What else? There is pecan, of course, potato flour, quinoa is a grain of the Peru, and then they got brown rice, white rice flour. I don't agree with that, the rice. But let me see. Potato flour, pecan flour. Oh, of course. Here it is. Sorghum flour. That's one of the ones that you use in a blend. Most of the products that gluten-free people have is not one particular flour. It's a mixture of like 3 different types to give it a different feel. So you have sorghum flour, you have soy flour, you have, of course, tapioca flour or tapioca starch. There's 2 differences. What else? There's soy flour. I use soy and sorghum flour. And of course, xanthan gum is gluten-free. Sweet potato flour and tapioca starch. So those are the flours that you mix together, and you can create your own either pizza, bread. Some of the flours I just mentioned were in Bob's Red Mill all-purpose gluten-free flour. I like to have that because it does not have corn or rice. So I know that product is totally gluten-free. So that's the Bob's Red Mill flour mixture. Now, when I go out to eat, if I'm driving down the street, I'm hungry, I'm programmed already not to go and get a sandwich or anything like that. I just go straight to a burger joint or chicken joint. I just ask them for a grilled chicken and no bun. And usually all the chicken and the meat is grilled on one grill and it's separated from the bread. So I'm not too worried about cross-contamination. So that's a big issue that allergy people have to watch out for, is cross-contamination of the products. You can't use the same oil. You can't put something in that oil and use this for gluten-free and say it's gluten-free. You can't mix the oils or products in the oils and grills, stuff like that. Kind of like it's very much like being kosher. You cannot mix the utensils neither, nor. Anyway, my name is GF Joe, and this is the GF Joe Radio Show. I appreciate my one caller calling in today. I am on yourhomeliferadio.com every Tuesday at 4:30 to 5:30, and I'm looking for sponsors for my radio show, the GF Joe Radio Show. Next week I'll have a hat on so you won't see my bald spot. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week, and we'll have a special guest on. Hopefully Karen will be on. We're coming down to how many seconds here? Welcome, or I'm just saying not welcome, I'm saying goodbye to my listeners on the GF Joe Radio Show, yourhomeliferadio.com. And once again, thank you for listening to the GF Joe Radio Show, only on yourhomeliferadio.com.